This tutorial will only cover finding the average rate of change from tables, graphs, and equations. For these other 6 items, you can find them in previous homework assignments, and you can go back and look those up. So let's get started here with finding the average rate of change from a table. So when we find a rate of change for a function, we are looking for the change in the y values divided by the change in the x values. So you may remember this from your previous course. It's known as the delta y over the delta x. So you need to know 2 points. And what they're telling you here is that the x values of those points are going to be 25 and 85. And you need to find the y values. So they show it to you here in the chart that the value with an input of 25 has an output of 9, and an input of 85 has an output of 21. So you simply enter these into your rate of change formula, right? Y minus y over x minus x. Now you can do this math mentally. You can do this one step at a time on your calculator. You can do 21 minus 9, you can do 85 minus 25, or you could do it all in one fell swoop. And this is what I mean. When you turn your calculator on, you can enter into the fraction, right? You open your fraction mode, and you simply type all of that math, right? So all of that math was y minus y, 21 minus 9, and then x minus x, which was 85 minus 25. So there you go. Right? Y, this one down here. So these were our 2 points. They said from 25 to 85. And the average rate of change means we're going to skip over all these other values. We're just going to go straight from this point to the next point. It doesn't mean that you add things up and divide things. And that's not what they mean when they say average rate of change. They just mean directly jumping from this value to that value. So y minus y over x minus x gave us this fraction. You can use your calculator to compute all of that math, but you type your answer in this box down here, 1/5. So again, let's try one more. They're telling you the inputs, 3 and 9. So 3 and 9. So you can use your calculator. If they said show your work, if it said show your work on the Regents exam, you would be showing this work, and the rest you should do on your calculator. So 64 minus 34 is 30, 9 minus 3 is 6, and 30 divided by 6 is 5. You do not need to show this middle step. You can do it all in your calculator. And I expect you to. You don't want to make any silly mental mistakes. So let's go back now. We're going to try this time finding it from a graph. So again, the average rate of change is something that we do when we're calculating the change in the y values for something that's really nonlinear. So we're going to start from 0 and go all the way to 3. So from x is 0 to x is 3, so we want to find the graph. So when x is 0, the graph is here, and when x is 3, the graph is here, and this is what they mean when they say find the average rate of change. So from here to there. So again, from x is 0, that is the point, 0, negative 15, according to my number line. And this one is 3, 0. Set up your y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1 formula. 0 minus negative 15, 3 minus 0. We get 15 over 3, which is 5. All right, let's take a look at this graph. Again, remember they're looking for you to find the values for 2 points, and they will tell you what the x values are, negative 6 and positive 4, and they want you to find the y values using a graph. So if x is negative 6, we find the function here, and if you look carefully, that is the value negative 10. And when x is positive 4, the graph is at 0, and we're looking for this, the average rate of change from here to there. Not along the curve, but the straight distance here. So set up your formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And we're going to get 10 over 10, which is 1. Alright, last one. Let's find our 2 points. One has an x value of 2, the other one has an x value of 9. So when x is 2, the graph is here. And when x is 9, the graph is there. Set up your ratio here. 25 minus negative 10, and 9 minus 2. So that's 35 over 7, which is 5. Okay, the last one is finding the rate of change from an equation. There's 2 ways you can do this, the hard way or the easy way. So the hard way is that we know that we have x values or inputs of negative 3 and positive 7. And they want you to find the output. Now you could certainly take this formula, you could remove the x values, and you could replace them with your inputs. You could put a negative 3 here, you could put a negative 3 here, you can get your output and put your answer right there. You could type that whole thing into your math button here, but I don't even want to do that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go straight to my y equals button. I'm going to clear out any old math. I'm going to type this function right in my calculator. Make sure you use the negative sign and not the subtraction sign. Negative x squared plus 4x plus 10. Instead of evaluating each value myself, I'm going to look at the table. So when x is negative 3, what's the output? The output is negative 11. And when x is 7, the output is also negative 11. So it looks like I have the points negative 3, negative 11, and the point positive 7, negative 11. And when I type in my fraction here, I get 0 over 10, which is a slope of 0, which can happen. So again, what we're doing here when we have an equation and we don't have a table to look at the points and we don't have a graph to look at the points, instead of doing the math myself, which is what they're showing you here, which you can totally do, but you don't have to, I'm going to use my calculator. Again, I'm going to clear this out. I'm going to type the actual function in, negative x squared minus 5x plus 9, and then I'm going to go view the table of values. From negative 8, which is negative 15, so I have a value of negative 8, negative 15, and a 1 value of 3. So again, 3 minus negative 15, this is me showing the work. Even though I'm using the calculator, I can still show some work. And now let's see what we've got. 3 plus 15 is 18 over 9, and the answer is 2. What did I don't know why I typed that. I said 2. That concludes our lesson on average rate of change.